Hey fight fans, today in this video, more than a month before one of the biggest events of the year, rumors have spread that Charles Oliveira does not want to fight in Abu Dhabi and was giving up his claim to the championship. Now this rumor came from Khabib Nurmagomedov, who does not believe that the fight between Islam Makhachev and Charles Oliveira for the vacant title will really take place. Also, Beneil Dariush, who is currently preparing for a fight against Mateusz Gamrot, confirmed that he is ready to be a substitute in the upcoming title fight if needed. And former Bellator champion UFC lightweight Michael Chandler thinks that it's crazy that Islam Makhachev is the favorite in a fight against Oliveira. And finally, we will discuss how Islam Makhachev drew an interesting scenario with the fight with Oliveira and how he will beat Bronx. Now, before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, so let's go. As you all know by now, UFC 280 will be headlined by a championship fight for the vacant lightweight belt, currently between Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. However, according to Khabib Nurmagomedov, that fight may not happen. Khabib said, "I think that Charles Oliveira will not appear in Abu Dhabi and the UFC will replace him with Beneil Dariush. Regardless of who the opponent is, Islam Makhachev is on his way to being the best in the world at UFC 280. And even Beneil Dariush himself, who is currently preparing for his fight against Mateusz Gamrot, confirmed that he is ready to come on as a substitute in the title fight. Dariush was supposed to meet Makhachev in a match last year, but Beneil was injured and dropped out of the fight. Now he has a chance to follow Makhachev and fight for the belt without even having a #1 contender fight." Apparently, Ali Abdelaziz told Dariush that he will be the substitute for this fight, with Dariush saying if something goes wrong, they will put me in. Of course, I will do 70.3 kilograms, it's not that hard. Last time at UFC 262, I weighed almost 70.3. And also, another potential candidate is current UFC featherweight champ Alexander Volkanovski. The fact that Oliveira wanted one of the most important fights in his career to be fought in his native country of Brazil. He would have a great opportunity to declare his greatness if he defeated the most dangerous opponent to date in Islam Makhachev in Brazil. So he definitely deserves the respect from the UFC and the form of organizing this fight in his home country. Because despite him missing weight, in the eyes of many fans, Oliveira remains the champion. But the influence of Khabib is too great. The fact that Nurmagomedov is influencing UFC leadership even after his resignation is quite intriguing. It seems obvious that Khabib used all of his connections to organize this fight closer to home in Abu Dhabi. Now let's look at this situation from the other side, because we don't know what's really going on in Oliveira's head, and if he really wants to get his way and have his next fight in Brazil, Bronx could pull out of the fight. Now keep this in mind, this is only hypothetical, but he would still remain the #1 contender for the belt. He could simply watch how the fight between Islam and Dariush ends and then agree to fight the winner in Brazil. But I personally don't think Charles is going to do this. He hasn't released any statements regarding this rumor, so we will just have to wait for Charles to speak his mind. But what do you think? Why would they be spreading a rumor that Oliveira does not want to fight in Abu Dhabi and will back out of the fight? Write your thoughts in the comments below. Former Bellator champ and UFC lightweight Michael Chandler will face Dustin Poirier on November 12th at UFC 281 in New York. Now he plans on winning this fight and then facing the winner of the title fight between Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. In a recent interview, Chandler said, "I am still focused on becoming a world champion. November 12th I will beat Dustin and I will be next in line for a title shot. I plan to fight Islam or Oliveira in the first quarter of next year and be your new world champion by the middle of the year." Chandler also does believe that Oliveira will be able to regain the title, saying,
"I think Charles wins that fight. I think it's crazy that Islam is a favorite. Man, the guy has looked, he's looked very, very good. Finishing guys, his hands have come a long way in just his overall confidence. You know, the overall confidence that Charles Oliveira has now compared to, you know, a couple of years ago when he was, as I've said before, somewhat of looking at becoming somewhat of a journeyman, up and down, could not be relied upon to have it put together and string together good performances. He has now turned that ship, righted that ship and turned it around. And he's our champion. Well, not technically our champion, but he's in everybody's eyes, our champion for a reason. I think he goes out there and beats Islam handedly.
Now, however, Islam Makhachev is confident in his victory over Oliveira. He revealed what he expects from the upcoming fight, writing on Twitter, "The first round is a warm-up. The second round I pull him into deep water. And in the third round I do the work. Can't wait." Now, one thing I know for sure is that millions of fight fans from around the world are wanting to see this fight. So I personally cannot imagine that Dana White would allow Oliveira to back out. So what do you think about all this? Let us know in the comments. And that is all we have for today. So if you liked the video, come on, you know what to do. And thanks for watching.